Let's put the women and children to bed and go looking for fucking dinner, all right? On one, ready?
All right.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
The Mask.
Some extra shit. I can't help it. Every week I want to change some shit up, so added a new clip to the to the intro. Anyway, we want to welcome everybody back to another episode of the Mask Podcast. I'm your host Mark, my co-host Rick. Rick, what's going on, bro?
Not a whole hell of a lot today. Got a lot of stuff done around the apartment, chilling, relaxing, ready to do the show.
All right, so y'all know what it is. This gonna have to be, I don't know what to call this shit. We're gonna fly through because we're gonna do half NFL, half NBA. I'm so proud. NBA, yeah! I got Rick doing another NBA. Yo, that's exciting for me. I don't even know where to be. You know what? Normally we jump right into the games, right? So I know Rick got a lot to say. So let's jump into the big news of the day. The Jets fired their coach. I'll probably say his name wrong. Robert Saleh.
Saleh?
Oh,
no, man.
I don't heard like 18 different versions of the name. He was fired. Right. He was fired today about 10:15 this morning. You know what? Before I even begin, Rick, as a AFC East guy, how do you feel about this firing? Was it justified or was it an overreaction or what?
I think this was justified. In his tenure, if the team was doing well throughout his entire tenure and they were just off to a slow start this year, because let's face it, the entire NFL is off to a slow start right now. The Bills are 3-2. The Jets are just behind a bit, 2-3. So it's not like they're out of the divisional race. They're gonna miss the playoffs just yet. It's just how much talent the team has versus how little they've accomplished under his tenure. This team should not be looking as bad as they do right now. Maybe he is the scapegoat for them, but I think this was the quickest way to get them back on track instead of waiting till 3, 4, 5 more weeks down the road when he's lost the team already.
I agree. Of course, the big talk is Aaron Rodgers' fault. If Sauce Gardner takes his shit in the wrong stall, it's Aaron Rodgers' fault. You know what I'm saying? If Breece Hall fumbles the ball, it's Aaron Rodgers. Look, I get it. He is the face of the franchise. The only issue I had with the firing is that I don't think it should have been him. I mean, granted, he has not had a great track record, but why not fire? You can't fire the OC because that's Rodgers' dude.
Right.
But technically, it's the offense that's fucking up.
Yep.
So you fire the OC, but you can't because if you fire him, you piss off Rodgers. It's like a no-win situation.
Right.
No one was going to come out looking good. But at the end of the day, let's keep it real. Like your record was it's a very justifiable firing. And like you're saying, it was great that they did it now instead of week 9. Because you're only one game behind in the division. My issue with the Jets is they're like, oh, Rodgers is not playing up to par as he should. Well, when you're 40 years old and you're getting sacked about 4 times a fucking game, and y'all refuse to run the fucking. I did not understand that this week. I think they had maybe 9 or 10. I'm like yo, because I think we said in the group yo, are they going to run the fucking ball? Why is he throwing 50 fucking passes? Run the ball.
Right. I said that in our group chat. I'm like, this guy is 40 years old. He threw the ball 52 times. Like, the comparison was like baseball has a pitch count for a reason. You got a 40-year-old dude throwing 52 times. Where do you think he's going to go later in the season? He's going to have a dead arm by the bye week.
And the football dudes, we know if you're throwing the ball that many times, it's going to be some issues where interceptions are possible. That's 50. And I put the stat up in the joint. Like, he had, 3 interceptions the other day? That knocks him up to 4. So he only had 1 interception on the whole fucking year.
Yeah.
So once again, everything is Rodgers fucking fault. Oh, we had the bill from the quarterback. No, y'all deviated away from your offensive plan, which was run the ball. For some reason, I don't know what the fuck Hackett is thinking. I just don't fucking know what he was saying. And the coach is the scapegoat. Right. It's sad to say, but they did it at the right time. You hate to see anybody lose their job, and it's like, oh, they had a beef. I don't think Rodgers and them had an issue. I don't think they had an issue. Everybody bugging off that fake hug shit. That wasn't a fucking issue. Woody Johnson, if y'all know the Jets, he has a fucking problem to begin with. Like he has, like most owners, they have a control problem. He's like Jerry Jones' stepson. Like they have he has a control problem. I don't think he even liked the coach. So it's like, yo, get him up out of here. It's sad to see him go. Because he's a very well likable guy from what you can see. But this is the business, yo.
Well, it's funny because I look at it and people are saying, "Oh, it's Aaron Rodgers' fault. It's not Robert Saleh that threw the 3 interceptions." I'm like, but the play calling comes down to the head coach. You know what I mean? Like if you're throwing the ball 52 times and they're not running the ball, you're gonna sit on the defense. You're gonna sit waiting for him to pass the football. You're gonna cheat a little bit back on your heels. Like it's ridiculous. And be honest, one of the strengths of Aaron Rodgers through his entire career was not throwing interceptions. So throwing 3 in a game shows a big red flag for a team that's supposed to have a high-powered offense.
Yeah, 50 fucking times. Like, yo, I'm sitting here like, dude, do y'all not know? Like, there's no, like, Mahomes is not, like, their quarterbacks are not doing that. But yet, y'all sitting here watching this dude chuck it. And it's not like they couldn't run the ball. Y'all just decided not to run the ball. You got 2 great running backs back there. The young kid, Allen, and you got Breece Hall. And y'all like, you know what? Let's just, fuck it, Rodgers. Just chuck that shit. Chuck it. Chuck it to your one receiver that you have. And, if you look at the interception. Oh, damn, my bad. We're not even on that game yet. Matter of fact, we wanted to talk about the coach. As Rick and I agree on, it was not a overreaction. That was not an overreaction at all. It was justified. Just so happens it happened to a well likable guy. So with that said, let's get into NFL breakdown of Week 5. Let's start out with the first game we had, which is the Falcons. The fuck, you know what? I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not. Fuck it. I am gonna say it. I done told Rick in the beginning of the year, watch these fucking Falcons, yo, when they get it together. Falcons beat the Buccaneers 36-30. Rick, real quick thoughts on this game.
It's every week we say the same thing on the Falcons, bro. Like you can't count them out. I don't think they're playing good football right now. They're playing they're even as they're reestablishing their identity, they're doing enough to win football games. Kirk Cousins has done the same thing he does year in and year out. He performs well enough to not lose football games. We'll see how it turns out later in the year for him because that's typically where he'll fall off. But right now he's doing all the right things. And I think you're only going to see this team gets better as they start to develop a little bit more chemistry.
I agree. Great win for the Falcons. OT, division game, rivalry game. These are the 2 teams that's going to be fighting for first place in the NFC South, which is really not that hard. But I think the Falcons are going to take the division. So this was a great win for them in Week 5. All right, next up. Well, fuck it. The Bears beat the Panthers 36-10. Rick, thoughts on this game, on this outcome?
The Bears finally look like a better football team, and that's not saying much because you did face the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are coming off. What did they just win last week? It was either last week or the week before. But either way, they're slowly starting to make their rounds, and Andy Dalton's got the Panthers moving in the right direction. But this was a step back for him, and I kind of think the Panthers needed this to kind of take the pressure off Bryce Young a little bit. Because even then, as the Panthers started looking like a real offense, he took a lot of the blame. He was their scapegoat. And right now, when you play a Bears team that's kind of finding their identity too, it's nice to see, it's not nice to see someone struggle, but it's nice to kind of rationalize and see that there's more that needs to be done for the Panthers.
Great win for the Bears. Caleb Williams with another spectacular game. Granted, it came against the Carolina Panthers, but once again, you play who the fuck is in front of you. It don't matter if it's a little league team. Caleb Williams in his fifth game. Yeah, he's showing great upside. He's showing he's worthy of the number one pick. So great win by Chicago. Whoa, shit. And here we go. First of all, I fucking hate international games. It's nothing against the countries. I just don't like international games. The Vikings beat the Jets, 23-17. Real quick, as we just talked about, what's your takeaways from this game?
I think the Jets showed a little bit of life, but not enough life to save their coach's job. I don't think the way the Vikings are playing, they should have easily came in and rolled the Jets. Like, this should have been a blowout, but and that's nothing to say against the Jets. They just weren't playing that well. To even get it within a 6-point game, a 1-touchdown game is huge. Again, these are the games that they're going to face all year long. They've got to find out ways to win these, especially when you're in the AFC East, and the AFC East. Especially when you're in the AFC, you're going to face tough teams like this all year long through the playoffs. So you got to figure it out early on.
Tough loss for the Jets. As we talked about earlier, man, 14 rushes, 36 yards. That's it. 14 fucking rushes for 36 fucking yards. Garrett Wilson had a monster game, 13 for 101. However, the big story is the undefeated Vikings, 5-0. Fuck it. If we got to do it, we got to do it. We're going to call him out. If he's listening, I haven't even checked the chat. Greg, you said that, Sam Darnold was going to falter like after week 3. His team is 5-0. I don't know if this is a new Sam Darnold that we're watching, if we're watching the same shit that Baker Mayfield went through, a year ago when he came to Tampa. But Sam fucking Darnold has his team 5-0. He did not have the best game numbers wise, but his team is 5-0. You cannot take that away from Sam Darnold. I don't give a fuck if it was what's the kid? Zach Wilson. If it was Zach Wilson leading the 5-0 team, everybody be throwing a fucking Zach Wilson parade. But give Minnesota and Darnold their respect. I don't know, 23-17 and in another country against a Jets team that was picked to win the fucking Super Bowl. That was a great, because it's great to win when you're under the radar. It's tougher to win when everybody is looking at you. Right now, all eyes are on the Vikings, and yet they're still showing up every fucking week doing their job. So hats off to the Vikings on their win, 23-17 in their 5-0 record.
I think the one thing we got to take away from this game, though, is Aaron Rodgers can't keep taking hits like that. He limped out of the game, the week 3 game or week 4 game.
Yeah.
Bad knee. This week he's crawling on the ground towards the sideline. You can't keep that guy healthy. It's going to be an even longer season. I don't know that you hear all the talk that freaking the Jets should trade for Devontae Adams, and it's like, dude, they need to train for a lineman first to keep the quarterback upright.
But that's the thing. They thought they did that this offseason.
Apparently not.
And yeah, it had. But a good way to do that is run the ball.
Exactly.
run the fucking ball. That takes pressure off of Rodgers. Like, no matter what was going on in Green Bay, they ran the fucking ball.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, I don't know did he have a brain fart the last 2 weeks? And somehow he just, like, I mean, I don't know if him and the coach are beefing. He's like, you know what? I'm about to get this motherfucker fired. Fuck this shit. Like, I don't know what happened, but somehow they forgot to run the ball, and which resulted in a 23-17 loss besides the 3 interceptions.
Which is wild because the Vikings are a team that blitzes heavily, and against the team that blitzes heavily, you usually try to run the football and spread the ball out a little bit.
Yeah, fucking, it was just pure fucking craziness. You go fucking lie. Next up, we had a very exciting game right here. The Ravens, 41, defeated the Bengals, 28. Rick,
38.
What's your takeaway on this one? Oh, 38? Yeah. Oh, shit, what I put, 28? Oh,
come down
shit.
to a last-second field goal. I think
Typo.
Yeah.
Damn, I put 28 up that motherfucker. I'm looking right at the score right here in front of my damn face, too. My bad, y'all.
Shit happens, but hey, listen, what it comes down to, when you saw it against the Bills and you see it again in this game against the Bengals, Derrick Henry might be the difference maker for the Ravens this year. Whenever you need that big play, man, he's busting out that long run as if he's 25 years old again. Like, it's wild. It takes a lot of pressure off Lamar Jackson. And in the divisional game, I thought this one was going to be a little bit not as close. I thought this was going to be a little bit of a one-sided affair, but the Bengals are starting to show a little bit of life.
And you know what's wild about this is, I think, on my days off, I get up in the morning, I turn on SportsCenter, I'll let that shit play for the majority of the day, like in the background. And they was talking, I think today, and it was like, well, the Bengals are, what are they, 1-4? 1-4. But fucking Joe Burrow's numbers, are crazy. Like, my man is putting up fucking MVP numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow, and I knew it, and I said it, Joe Mixon, as much as I'm not saying he was a home run threat while with Cincinnati, but you're missing him. Zach Moss is not an every down back. Perine, whatever dude name is, he's not an every down back. They're missing a running back to help take the pressure. You still got T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Chase had a wonderful game. Big shout out to Chase, for another fantasy victory. Sorry, Joe. Burrow is balling. What's going on in Baltimore? And we do have to say this about B-More. And I don't want to bring up my own team, but I have to. They're going through the same thing that the Eagles went through last year. Two new coordinators. Like, people think, they got a new coordinator, but they still got this person. Like, dude, it takes a minute for all that shit to gel. Regular players don't play in the regular season. In the preseason. So they're like, they should get reps in the preseason. Motherfucker, no one get reps in the preseason. Like, no one gets it in the preseason.
So bad they don't even want the preseason anymore.
Yeah, like, really, it really is time to do away with this shit, because all we doing is for hard knocks now. Yeah. Oh, there go Greg. It's not even for regular football. It's for fucking HBO now. But with that said, who you say Viking fans travel well? Well, and I'm saying, and we all know Steve probably right there with their ass and shit. But I wasn't a big fan of the Derrick Henry signing, because once again, number one wrestling team last year, like, nothing had really fucking changed. However, he is one of the biggest backs to take down, and Lamar is still doing his thing with, running the ball. But now they are incorporating Zay Flowers. I've been waiting for this all fucking season. I think he had over 100 yards receiving. I've been waiting for this all fucking season for him to get incorporated into the fucking offense, and they did a great job. How do you hate pancakes? What the hell? How do you hate pancakes in football? Early games are great. Because that means I got to get up early and watch the shit. 9 o'clock, I'm already up. because I'm on my way to work and shit. But maybe I want to roll over and scratch my ass or scratch my balls. Like now I gotta look for the remote and turn the damn TV on and shit. Like,
my game or my brain is not ready to process freaking stats and shit like that before I've had my morning coffee and before it even kicks in.
Yeah, it's just not time, Julio, man. It's just. But because for me, I'm a bettor. I like to bet. So let's say I make a parlay, right? And I bet that should start at 9:30. I bet on the 9:30 game, and one of those little fuckers from that 9:30 game mess my parlay up. It's gonna mess up my parlay for the whole fucking day.
You don't even want to watch no more.
I don't even want to watch no more. I'm already pissed. I'm already pissed. That's why I don't like them damn 9:30 games. So I had to learn my lesson this week. I didn't bet on the damn Jets game and in the Vikings game with the regular parlay. Viking fans all over the place in the UK because they were invaded by the. You know what? Damn it, Greg. Greg is a damn fool. All right, next up we got Jaguars. They actually won the fucking game. All right, Jaguars defeated the Colts 37-34. I guess I got the fucking score right this time. Rick, any takeaways from this game?
Well, takeaways are, hey man, bad games happen, and Joe Flacco is finally, not finally, but he's showing up and making the Colts, look like a reasonable team. I think they've struggled under Richardson, and maybe that's his fault, maybe it's not, but the Jags were bound to win a game. I don't think the Jags are a winless team this. But did I think it was going to come against the Colts? I absolutely did not. Especially since they've got a little bit of a hot hand in Joe Flacco right now.
All right. Well, this just came in from Chef, right? Woody Johnson just urged Reddick to join in this holdout and join the team. So just imagine if he just joined the team, maybe it was the fucking coach he didn't fucking like. I mean, that would be some funny shit. Team MBS Media, NFL football, early morning games and doubleheaders. We need pancakes. I don't know what the hell's up with Julio and these damn pancakes, bro. I don't know. But, all right. Jaguars. Look, Trevor Lawrence, you needed that win. I mean, it's not going to be many more. It's not going to be a fucking snowball effect. Y'all going to climb the mountain and shit. Y'all team still suck. I don't know how y'all suck. Ingram is still missing. I think that's a huge part of their offense. And the Colts, once again, no Jonathan Taylor. However, Trey Sermon. Look, I got an issue with you because the Eagles had you. However, I'm glad you got another shot. But Taylor is still the key to that offense. Flacco, I mean, Jesus. And somebody had mentioned on SportsCenter a couple of weeks ago when Flacco came back. They was like, yo, why hasn't anyone called him and be like, hey, I want you to start the season as my number one quarterback so we can groom one of these younger players. Imagine him ahead of Bryce Young. Hell, imagine him ahead of Anthony Richardson. I know you like Richardson. I still don't think he's quite ready to be the full-time starter in Indianapolis. But sure. What the hell do I know? I wear a mask all day long. See, here you go with this Waffle House shit. Waffle Household. Oh, they said Waffle House. I'm gonna say, dude, we don't have a fucking Waffle House here in New York. I would love a fucking Waffle House. But good win by the Jags. Much needed win. The Colts, I understand if things are a little bit, wonky for y'all because, you're missing your starter and you're missing your starting running back. So, bad win, good win for the Jaguars. Next up, we got Joe's punk ass team. We got the Washington Commanders beat the Browns 34-13. Rick, yeah, explain this.
I can't even explain. First and foremost, I want somebody, as long as we're on the page of needing explanations, I want somebody to explain to me why they think Deshaun Watson still should be the starter for the Cleveland fucking Browns, dude. Nothing he's done is resembling good fucking football. I don't even think he's playing like a backup quarterback right now.
Damn, that's cold-blooded.
He threw for 125 yards. And it's not like Washington's playing real good football, but it's not like Washington's out here blowing teams out. They've won a lot of good games, and they've done what they needed to do to win. but a lot of the games they played have been in it. Nothing about the Browns said they were ready for this game and ready to be, even competitive to the Commanders.
I mean, but if you sit him, then what? Now you're saying, oh, shit, we really fucked up. I mean, the whole world knows you fucked up. Like, it's not, you can't hide it anymore. So you might as well just bite the bullet. But then if you bite the bullet, you still got to, I mean, either way, you're fucked. Like, just wait till the season over. Just tank this fucking year away. Cut your fucking losses. I mean, because that's the only way you're going to do it. You're going to, because no one's going to trade for them.
No.
Just cut your fucking losses. Tank the year away. Go get another fucking quarterback in the draft. Just call it a fucking day because the Browns owe Watson $144 million. That's a lot of fucking money. You know what? I'll be throwing interceptions if I know y'all gonna pay me regardless. I don't want to give a flying fuck. I'll be throwing at the water boy. Like, I wouldn't care.
Find a way to defer those payments, something. I don't know, because that's not it. And at the end of the day, yeah, you made the mistake, but at the same time, you can't just give the guy free reign to go out there and suck ass. Sit him. If he's playing like shit, sit him, because now you're going to piss off everybody. You got your good players that are going to be like, why the fuck am I going to sign here in the offseason if they ain't going to do anything about this guy sucking ass?
It's the Browns. They always suck ass. Now, on the flip side of this, as much props as Minnesota gets, we have to show love to the Commanders.
Yep.
4-1, bro, with a rookie quarterback. I'm not gonna say no names. I'm really not gonna say any names, Rick. But somebody did pick them 32nd in our season power rankings. And I mean, they're proving a lot of people wrong. Not just you, proving me wrong. I probably had them like 28th or 29th or some shit like that. They're proving a lot of people, even fans. You know how fans get. Oh yeah, I saw this shit coming. No, the fuck you didn't. No, they didn't even see it coming. They just thought, we got the rookie quarterback. It's going to be, a building block. Nah, they are playing great football now. Once again, I'm in the middle of writing an article about this. I don't give a fuck who they played. No, they did not play the toughest schedule in it don't matter. They playing NFL teams. Their job is to have more points than the other team at the end of the fucking game. That's what they are doing. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to walk out victorious, and they have done so 4 games out of 5. Hats off to the fucking Washington Commanders. Number 1 in the NFC East for now, Joe. For fucking now. Don't get too excited because they're Lord, boy, their schedule. Yeah. It's coming. They still got the Eagles twice. I think they still got the Cowboys twice. The Giants are not a fucking cakewalk. I think they got Baltimore. Oh, battle with DMV. You got Baltimore coming up Sunday. I think they should move that shit to like the Sunday night or the Monday night football game. That's a big matchup. 2 great quarterbacks playing like that game should be flexed. Even though I don't know if the NFL is really into that because they some dickheads, but I will flex that game. But anyway, hats off to the Commanders, 4-1. Yo, Browns, 7-8 wins is a great season for the Commanders. Look, I you know what?
They're halfway there.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, they halfway there already. It's just a point where they're playing so well, like Rick was saying, you can attract fucking quality free agents now because we got a young quarterback, we got a young fucking running back, we got a young wide receiver, we got a young defense. You got to remember a season ago or 2, they was trading away all 8 fucking defensive players. Like, we trying to shit. We saying like, what the fuck are they doing?
Right.
Maybe getting rid of Snyder was the fucking key to everything.
Hey.
Shit. But and we said it, and I think I was joking. Magic wins wherever the fuck he goes. At the end of the fucking day, Magic wins wherever the fuck he goes. Yeah, I mean, I know there's more people than Magic there, but however, I'm just going to focus on Magic Johnson because I don't know the other motherfuckers. But Magic wins wherever the fuck he goes. That'd be some wild shit if he walk away with a fucking NFL championship. We'll already go with the NBA. And all I need is hockey now.
It's probably already next on his list, bro.
Yeah, he already got a WNBA one too.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. Great win.
Well, that's just it. I mean, then that's going to credit to you bring the guys in when you've been around the sports that long. You bring the guys in that know how to build when you have success like that. You start from the ground up. You build with the pieces that you need. So he might not be the only one responsible, but I think he's brought in that winning aura and has found his way to maneuver the business side of things to get the winning people in place.
Great damn win for them. Come sign me. All right. Next up, we got the Texans defeated the Raiders. I'm about to say the Ravens. Texans beat the Raiders 23-18. Thoughts on this one?
The Raiders, you're rooting for them, especially as a Raiders fan. But at the end of the day, we knew they were going to go through turmoil this year. The Texans, I don't think they underestimated them. I think they played kind of down a little bit to the Raiders because this is not a game that got out of control. Again, you are playing a professional sport, so you never really can predict a blowout. Otherwise, people would be betting left and right and making a ton of money. But at the end of the day, it was a good game between the two teams. Could have been better. I think the Raiders need to find before the coach loses this team. I think they need to find a quarterback. I don't think they have a lot going for them right now in terms of talent. So to be in this game, it was respectable, but they still got a long road ahead of them. Oh shit!
Y'all see what I did again? I fucked up again. Yeah, typing so damn fast. So it was the fucking Broncos that beat the fucking Raiders.
Broncos. God damn. Yo, speaking of which, let me see now. I just went off the stats you posted. I'm all talking shit like I knew what the hell I'm talking about. Look at
it's the Broncos that beat the fucking Raiders.
Yeah, the Broncos. Then the Broncos stomped them to 34-18. Now this was a divisional game, but and I think that's where my point came from. I don't think the Raiders have. Gardner Minshew is not the guy that's going to lead this Raider team. I'm sorry. And they brought in Aiden O'Connell and he didn't anything. So they're going to struggle this year, man.
That's what I should have fucking picked right there. It's the fucking
scores.
Yeah, I was bugging out. Yo.
Do that to me.
As you're talking, I'm going to fix this shit right the fuck now.
Yes, sir.
And that was the motherfucking the Bills that they played. That's the game that I was talking about. That's the game I wanted to get into.
Oh, that's
the Texans and the Bills, yeah.
Because there's a lot going on there.
Man, look, bruh. That shit right here between these motherfuckers right here, they need Jesus. All right, so anybody really want to talk about no damn Broncos or Raiders? We're just going to X that shit before I got it real quick. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump to the Texans and the Bills. Here we go.
Now we're
Texans
back on
beat
track.
the Bills 23-20.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in on this game because I am
a
little bit annoyed with this one. You cannot tell me, I don't care what anybody says. They can say, oh, the health experts said. You cannot tell me that fucking Josh Allen was not concussed during that game. Listen to these stats after he got hit. Where am I? Hold on. Josh Allen, he went like 9 for 30.
Yeah.
I've seen Josh Allen be that bad. You've seen him had rough games, but come on, 9 for 30 for 131 yards. He took a hit that put him out cold. I do not care what anybody says. That is concussion all the way. Dude was knocked out cold. His arm was limp. He was, it was not pretty. But they allowed him back in the game, and this just makes me think. And there's a picture floating around the internet. The fucking coach trying to hand him something, to fucking smelling salts over here. Like, come on, dude. If you're gonna say you care about players' fucking safety, the minute you see that happening, first and foremost, find the fucking team because that shit should not have happened. Second of all, don't preach to me about player safety when you're letting something like that happen and he goes back in the game.
This is first. You don't want anyone to end up like Tua or any other players that's had concussions.
Right.
But the problem is that the media always want to portray Allen as Frank Castle. Like he's super Punisher tough. Like, dude, he plays with this reckless shit about him. But and we all know, first of all, Josh Allen is not going 9 for 30. He's not going 9 for 30 with one arm tied behind his back. So we all know something was wrong. Now, let's just, I hate to do it, let's just throw away the speculation. Let's just say, let's say he was fine. My issue with them is, as I said earlier a couple of weeks ago, you don't have the fucking receivers. They're going to fall back to earth because we're going to see who Josh Allen is. And we talked about it, and I think you had, like, we talked about this Keon Coleman cat. And I was like, yo, I don't think he can fill Diggs' shoes. This motherfucker, again, only had one catch. I'm like, are y'all beefing? Like, is he fucking your wife? Like, why are you just not throwing him? Wait a minute. Hold, before y'all even trip, before anybody trip, I'm going to check this stat real quick. I'm going to look this up fast. Like, he did have 5 targets, though. He had 5 targets. Kincaid, tight end, 6 targets. 2 like, I mean, we ain't got to go through the whole stat because the motherfucker only had 9 completions. So, I mean, it ain't like they went down the whole fucking roster. Everybody was catching the fucking ball, though. But, I mean, he threw the shit 30 times. But once again, we keep forgetting Houston defense is not a bunch of pussies. Like, they can, they can actually play. Now, bad loss for the Bills. Of course it was. You're now 3-2. I think they started out the year 3-0, correct? Yeah.
Yep.
They lost 2 straight. And you're losing to teams that if you happen to make the playoffs, you're going to face in the playoffs. Right. If I'm Texas or Kansas City or Baltimore, I'm like, yo, I don't mind traveling to fucking Buffalo in the cold facing these motherfuckers. Because they can't throw the fucking ball. There's no one to catch the ball. I don't care. So great win by Houston. Buffalo, get y'all shit together. Plain and simple. If anything, y'all should be trying to go get fucking Devontae Adams and fucking bring Randy Moss out of retirement or something. Y'all need some motherfucking help, yo. Shit. I know Diggs. Look, man. Diggs wanted that game. As he should. Next up, you know what? It's not a bad one right here. That's a pretty good win right here.
Yo, yes, sir.
Shit. The Cardinals. The squeaked by the 49ers, 24-23. Rick, thoughts on this game?
Oh, well, I'm gonna give myself a mini pat on the back for this one early in the season. Now,
everybody trying to hear that.
I'm not gonna say I picked the Cardinals, didn't, because y'all could go to the replay and see that I picked the 49ers to win this game. But I said early on in the season that the 49ers were gonna struggle. They had a lot of off-season turmoil there. And I think it's starting to finally show. They're starting to show what they're going to look at later in the season, or what they're going to look like later in the season. But I mean, the Cardinals did play well against the Bills. The Cardinals are not a bad team. I think they're another team that needs to develop a little bit more chemistry and a little bit more time on the field together. So don't sleep on the Cardinals. But this was an ugly game for the 49ers to win, because I don't feel like they're at the bulk of their schedule yet.
I agree. The Cardinals, man, once again, they're led by a defensive coach. The 49ers, we could say injuries. However, you still got that guy, Brock Purdy dude. You got Debo. You still got Ayuk. You still got Kittles. You still have a very formidable offense. And the Cardinals just said, fuck your offense.
Right.
I spoke about the guy last week and probably the week prior, James Conner. Like, yo, stop sleeping on this dude. He don't have to get you 200 yards rushing per game, but he's going to wear your defense down. Harrison Jr. did not have a game. And guess what? It's going to fucking happen. What he ended up with? 2 catches, 36 yards, 7 targets. Michael Wilson. Once again, these dudes are coming out of nowhere. 6 targets, 5 catches. McBride. And I wish I knew he was starting. I would have put him back as a starter on my fantasy team. I kind of fucked up, but I still whipped Joe ass this week. Yeah, Joe, you ain't seeing me. But once again, good win for the Cardinals. And the crazy part is they're fucking tied in the division, 2-3. Like this is a wonky season, but if 49ers are not careful, the season can pass them the fuck by. I know McCaffrey is a great player, but ain't nobody gonna sit here and tell me that they're 2-3 just because he is fucking missing. Hell no. Something's missing on that team and they're not getting it together. Fucking fire the coach. Fire the coach. Fuck it,
Well,
fire the coach.
they could say Christian McCaffrey all they want, but Jordan Mason still had 14 carries for 89 yards, and at 6 yards a clip, you're not going to put that on the run game.
And we can't forget, we finally had a fucking Brandon Ayuk sighting. 8 catches, 147 fucking yards. Finally, you decided to play fucking football after all that all-field, all-season drama shit. You finally decided to play fucking football, but you still fucking lost. Yes, I don't give a fuck. I don't like the fucking 49ers. So anytime they lose, I'm fucking excited. Except for like if the Cowboys beat them, then that's like I really don't give a fuck because I don't give two shits about them. But great win by the Cardinals for a young team, man. There's no fucking Kyler Murray slander this year, so great fucking win by them. All right, next up we have the fucking Packers beat the Rams 24-19. Rick, any quick thoughts from this game?
This game was not what I expected. I think the Rams still have to figure it out. That's the only thing to say about it. I mean, the Rams, they're in games, but they're not figuring out ways to win the football games. They're not getting blown out. They don't look like they're the team that was a Super Bowl contender those years back. They're going through a little bit of a transitional phase. Will they figure it out by the season's end? Hopefully for Rams fans, but I mean that's kind of where they're at right now. They're still in that transitional phase where they're trying to find out what works. Once they get healthy, once they get the players back on the field that have a little bit of chemistry, I think they'll be a lot better than they are right now.
Once again, injuries. Look, man, you lost 2 of the best wide receivers in the league. You still got Stafford and you still got Williams, but after that, you really don't have too much. So that loss does hurt, but fuck it, you got to play every fucking week. I'm not trying to be an asshole about it, but you cannot go and say, hey, let's give me a week off because my players are not healthy. No. Right. Jordan Love, look, Packers, where the fuck are they at? Packers are sitting at what? 3-2. The Rams, God damn, the Rams are 1-4. Y'all season is over. Wrap the shit up. Y'all don't need a quarterback. Y'all just need to get healthy at the end of the day. Jordan Love and his Packers are 3-2. Great win for the Packers this week, against the Rams. What's my man name? Was it Reed? Where oh my God, Kraft, tight end, 4 receptions, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jacobs, 19 carries, 73 yards, and touchdown. Like, yo, just do your job.
Well, what the hell? I mean, looking at the stat sheet, I'm confused as hell. This is another one here. Now, how old is Matthew Stafford? 35, 36 right now? That's not saying he's old as hell, but dude still threw the ball 45 times. I don't understand what we're doing. You had a run game that Kyron Williams carried the ball 22 times for 102 yards. At 4.5 yards a clip. Run the ball a little bit more. Why the fuck did y'all throw 45 times?
I mean, look at it this way. You threw the ball 45 times. You ran the ball 22 times. That what the fuck was there? Hold on. What was their time of possession? It wasn't that bad. They had the ball 32 minutes, almost 33 minutes. I mean, they ran some fucking offensive plays. They just they ran. Damn, and y'all still lost. Yeah.
But that's just it. 45 passes without their 2 top receivers, bro. You gotta, it's wild to me. That's crazy. I mean, if you can make it work, it can make it work, but it's not working. So what that
said, you can make it work, it's not working.
What that says to me is you either don't have a tight end that gets it there, or you don't have a big body in the red zone.
No, they don't. You still got Tutu Atwell, which is a smaller player. You still got what's my man name? Darnell Robinson, still not a bigger player. If I'm not mistaken, I think their tight end is still injured. As we're talking, I'm just hitting buttons, looking that shit up. Boom, boom, boom. Quick, fast. Yeah, you got Whittington. He is not their starting tight end. Like, that team is just decimated by fucking injuries. They're doing the best that they can, but they're throwing everything on the shoulders of Stafford. And that's all you can do. And just pray. Fuck it. Right. Sorry, your prayers is not being answered. Shit. I don't know if I can tell you. Yeah. All right. Ooh, shit. One of the shockers.
Shockers.
Yeah, the Giants defeated the Seahawks 29-20. Rick, real quick, what's your thoughts on this one?
Frickin' Brian Dable was end up out here coaching for his freaking job apparently because the Giants needed this win and it came at the right time. Let's be honest. Daniel Jones, man, I don't care what anybody says. He's not doing spectacular, but he's not the problem with them struggling right now. 23 of 34 for 257 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Without Malik Neighbors.
Without Neighbors, exactly. So what that says to me is maybe Daniel Jones isn't the problem, and there's maybe a little bit more retooling to do. I'm not going to say Daniel Jones is the savior because absolutely not. But at the same time, we talked about not too long ago about the Seahawks having a pretty stout defense, and he came in and took care of the football, got the job done. And this game, mid-game, seemed like it was going to get away from Seattle for a little bit. They came back and made it 29-20. But I think the Giants were up by like 2 scores most of the game.
Then, all of a sudden, they found the running game. What's the kid name? Tyrone Tracy Jr. What he did? 18 carries, $129. They found a fucking running game. Of course, I live in New York, so I know what the media is. They're like, oh my God, they just found the next best running back. Like, dude, not every season you get a player that comes out of nowhere and has like 1 or 2 big fucking games. Now, living in this media market, yes, they take shit to the fucking extreme. No, he's not the next fucking Barkley. My man had a great game. Now,
right.
What I love about the Giants defense led up the Seahawks, you got damn right they did, Greg. what I loved about the game is, from what I saw from it, clips and shit, is that once again, you can't be dogging Daniel Jones out. Like last year, it was, he sucks this, he's injured. Like, yo, Jones is balling, and he did it without his best playmaker. This dude Slayton. I forgot this dude was in the fucking league. What he had over 100 yards receiving. I forgot Slayton still was fucking playing because the whole focus has been neighbors. Right. Slayton, I think he had like a buck. What he had 122 yards fucking receiving. So if you can get that from him mixed with what Neighbors could do, and they could find a way to run the fucking ball, you got a problem because their defense. I'm just saying it. Their defense is nice. But once again, this still is a young team. It still is a young team. And they coach. Look, I hate the Giants. But I watch these motherfuckers on Hard Knock Show. I'm looking at their coach like, yo, I'm rooting for this dude.
Right.
Like, matter of fact, let me rephrase that. It's not even him. Because much as we talk shit about Sean or Sheen, the GM, like, you got to watch the Hard Knocks. Like, they have great fucking chemistry within that fucking organization. I mean, I never heard people calling each other motherfucker. Like, it was some joking type, but you could tell that they cool. So I'm sitting there like, damn, they might win some fucking games this year just because of the way that the front office and the coaching staff gets along. Well,
I said this. I think they're slowly developed chemistry. I think they're slowly becoming what they could be, and I think if anybody should be on the Devontae Adams, it's the Giants. I mean, if you can tell. No, bro, no, bro, no. Don't be trying to shift this motherfucker over here to the NFC East. I ain't got time for this shit. Listen, Adams and Neighbors is a great duo. If you can't win with them, he's not your quarterback. No. I ain't trying to hear that shit. Hey, Joe, mute this motherfucker right now. Everybody trying to hear that shit right now. Yeah. If you go to any team in the damn NFC East, it's gonna have to be the fucking Eagles. I ain't trying to hear that shit. Yeah. But no, I feel you though. Him and Neighbors, that would be kind of scary. But yeah, fuck that. I ain't trying to hear that shit. I don't want that shit to happen, yo. Oh God, we gotta talk about these people. Oh man, what the fuck, man. The Cowboys beat the Steelers 20-17. Rick, what's your real quickly, what's your take on this game? My take is, man, listen, I did not stay up for this fucking game. I'll tell you that. My old ass was not staying up for this old game, but I think the Cowboys are a little bit in disarray right now. They're not playing up to their potential. The Steelers, this was just a tough loss for them. You can't win them all. The Steelers have been on a great roll, a great run, and they played with a Cowboys team that would normally, I don't think they match up well against, but they did all right. So shout out to the Steelers for a good game played, but I think there was a little bit of a struggle trying to get through all of this one. Playing that late, man. I saw the meme on this, and I shared it in the group that Prescott was the first quarterback to throw 2 interceptions on 2 separate days, but in the same game. Now that's laughable, but at the end of the day, dude, that was freaking terrible. Can you imagine playing football at fucking midnight? I mean, yeah, you get paid millions of dollars, but shit, after 10 o'clock, I ain't trying to do much of anything.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm more surprised about is that the Steelers didn't take full advantage of a weak run defense.
Mm-hmm.
And to Justin Fields, shit, I don't know. I'm like torn. But I'm gonna keep it a buck. This is the game the Cowboys had to win. I don't give a fuck how you won. If you won by 18 points, if you won by a half a point, a decimal of a point, you had to win this motherfucking game. They showed grit. You was down 4th and goal. Like, I'm not saying that was your season right there, but there's no way in hell that you could have you could have lost that fucking game, and there probably been 2 coaches fired this week. I'm not saying they probably would fire McCarthy, but however, yeah, like you had to win that fucking game to go for that shit. First of all, the fact that Pittsburgh even had you down to a fourth down, that was just amazing in itself. And that was a throw that was on the money. If that shit was like a yard short, game was over. So hats off to the Cowgirls for the victory. What Greg said, the Cowboys stood up to the Steelers, and then it disappeared on me. The Cowboys stood up to the Steelers on defense, and it was a beautiful thing to see. Greg, nothing is beautiful about the fucking Cowboys, Greg. I'm sorry to inform you of that.
I don't know. I've seen some of their cheerleaders, bro. I want to give them that.
They got a whole fucking reality TV show I need to check out and shit. But once again, great win. Somehow y'all found the running game. Will y'all find it again? Next game I doubt it. But y'all found the fucking running game. Hats off the Cowboys players won that game from McCarthy, who was from Pittsburgh. Bruh, fucking Joe Montana from Pittsburgh. Dan Marino's from Pittsburgh. Nothing. Fuck McCarthy. He said his ass should have been fired today, right along with Robert. No, let me leave Greg alone.
The sad part is and I always say that they won that game for him. I'm like, bro, if they could play like that all the time, they wouldn't be losing games right now. And that's what kind of frustrates me all about that. It's like,
that's the thing.
They put a little bit extra in the game. We gotta put a little bit extra into every game.
They don't want to play like that every week. They shouldn't be playing like that every week because you almost let Justin Fields beat you. Like, Justin Fields and George Pickens, like you almost let them beat you, and the Steelers are not even full yet because they don't even have Jalen Warren yet. So we haven't seen their full potential as a running team yet. That's going to be a scary team. Keep your eye on them. But once again, good win by the Cowboys. Much needed win because somehow we got to keep pace for the I'm about to say the Redskins, the Commanders. So good win by the Cowboys. All right, next up we have the game last night. Of course, I'm saving your team for last. The Chiefs defeated the Saints 26-13 on Monday Night Football. Rick, what's your thoughts on this game?
Fucking Chiefs, man. They just find a way to get it done. I'm
so sick of saying it. I'm tired of saying that shit.
The Saints are continuing their free fall. I mean, you come in the first 2 weeks of the season, the Saints look like the freaking Vikings do right now. And then freaking 3 games later, we're like, all right, they're back to being the Saints. But Chiefs, good win on a Monday night. But at the end of the day, I don't think they're carrying this team through a winning or undefeated season.
Yeah. Look, name of the game is win. Experience, veteran leadership. You're going to do whatever it takes to win the game. That's why they're fucking undefeated. The Saints screwed up. Derek Carr had a Derek Carr moment. He got hurt. But however, the Chiefs are fucking 2-time Super Bowl champion, back-to-back. No, I'm sorry. Back-to-back champions for a fucking reason. They come in week and week out. They do what the fuck they're supposed to do. It could be ugly. It could be a blowout. They just fucking win. I have said it before, and I don't give a fuck how many people are listening or what's going on. Andy Reid, of course, I love me some Andy Reid. Mm-hmm. If there was ever a person outside of my Eagles organization that I wanted to get a championship, give them all the fucking Andy Reid. That, you know what I'm saying? That is still the Eagles dude to me. Great coach. Great fucking coach. And it does make you wonder, as much as they talk about Eric Bieniemy, who really was the fucking mastermind of that fucking offense. Will the Eagles get Devontae Adams? Look, Julio, you already know how I feel. I wrote the article on the fucking shit. Why not stack the fucking deck? That's just me as an Eagles fan. Gives me everybody. Like I said, if you want to call fucking Jerry Rice out of retirement too, I don't give a fuck. Get everybody. John Teller, Don BD. I don't care. Get every motherfucking body.
Put Marino on the Eagles. Let him get his ring. Fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah, facts. But, once again, great win by the Chiefs. Chiefs used a 4 tight end set, and they did damage to ball that away. Incredible. The Chiefs are fucking amazing. Look, Patrick Mahomes, Taylor Swift, Juju. Now, we cannot forget Kareem Hunt. Forget, like, you signing these motherfuckers off the street, and they come in here producing. I mean, granted, they already know the Chiefs' ways, but still, while teams are struggling at certain positions, these motherfuckers sitting on the couch, and they're like, hey, come on and play for me this week. Touchdown.
But at the end of the day, it goes back to what you just said. It's all about Andy Reid and knowing who. If one guy isn't doing well, the next fucking guy will. Like, it's so bizarre. Like, injuries. This guy ain't playing well. Boom. This guy came back after sitting on the couch for 2 weeks to fucking put up a hell of a year for him. Like, and everybody could say the refs this, the refs that. First of all, fuck off. Like, yeah, there's some very questionable calls out there, and I will not argue that, but the Chiefs are still playing like a powerhouse in the NFL. Refs are not.
Mahomes is like LeBron. Everyone wants to play. You know what? Don't even get me started with this. Everyone wants to play with him and Andy. I'm not even gonna get on this LeBron shit right now because I'm ready. I'm so ready to cook that damn comment right now. Oh, I'm so ready to cook that comment right now. Oh, and Greg gonna sit here and agree. You know what?
Poke the bear.
Yo, just wait. Okay. All right. Last but not least, for the NFL breakdown, which is just the team part. I'm not even gonna say. I'm just gonna let Rick just do his thing. Where the hell did he go?
Listen. First and foremost, I think the Dolphins needed this win more than anything, more than they've needed a win in the past 2 or 3 seasons. This has been an ugly, ugly year for the Miami Dolphins. Now, you play the Patriots, so you don't get a freaking big pat on the back for this one because they're struggling too. But at the end of the day, we finally learned that, hey, man, if you run the football and you can control the football a little bit, it kind of makes up for your struggling quarterback. Nobody's producing on this team right now. Putting up superstar numbers like they did last year, and it's going to happen without your star player. But finding a way to win before you lose the team was a huge step in the right direction for this team. And for Mike McDaniel. Hold on a second. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up some stats here because, like, first and foremost, this team has not – I think this is the first touchdown they scored in fucking 12, 13 quarters. And it came in the fourth quarter with their fullback. Man, this team there's something more than just not having Tua in right now. And they have a bye week, so maybe they can figure it out. But I still want to say this. This one phase, because it's the talking point. It's been the talking point for the past 3 or 4 seasons. Hey, I guess you can't say Tua is a systems quarterback, and it's the systems that make him all good, and it's the talent that makes him as good as he is. So fuck everybody who had that thought.
Good win by the Dolphins. It ain't gonna change shit. Unless Tua comes back. Mm-hmm. The Patriots, we all know right now. It was just announced that Drake May will now be the starter against Houston. I think that's a bad call. Y'all about to fuck this young kid's whole fucking psyche up. Mm-hmm. But that was the case. Just that you should just let them start to the beginning of the year. Now you're about to throw them into the fire against one of the elite teams in the AFC, and I don't think that's a good call. But once again, what the fuck do I know? I'm sitting in front of you on a laptop with a fucking mask on. Meeting the change panel. all went on the Patriots. All right, so that will conclude the rundown of last week's game. Of course, we still got the power rankings coming up, and then we still got the NFL picks that we have to do before we jump into the NBA segment of the show. I believe the producer wanted to take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back with a little bit more of the of the NFL with our power rankings.
You are watching Team NBS Media. We are a digital media brand covering sports, entertainment, and lifestyle, with team members all across the country. Through our written content, podcasts, and video content, we bring you fresh and professional content. Interested in joining the team? Shoot us an email or DM. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
All right. That makes sense right there. Here we go.
What the hell's going on here?
Let's jump into what we do every week. Real quick, let's do our picks real quick. Up this week, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Everything is going kind of wonky today.
Yep.
Last week, we both ended up once again 10-4. I don't quite know what the hell's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then, okay, Rick signing out there. All right, somehow my computer just going super slow today. What's going on with that one? Oh, wait, huh? What the hell? The hell did that? What's that popped up? I don't know, yo. All right, we ended up with the picks 10-4 for the week. Yeah. Once again, we're still running neck and neck. So, as a total for the season so far, for the first 5 weeks, bam, here we go again. 48-30. Oh, damn. No play video. Well. All right. So 48-30. So for all the experts out there, look at it like this. I see y'all be fucking around with y'all 20 and then 25 or some shit like that. Yo, we 48-30. We picked 48 winners and 30 losses. We're better than some of you so-called experts and shit. Some of you so-called, you know what I'm saying, former NFL players and coaches and analysts and shit of that nature. We got 48 wins apiece. We cannot seem to break that fucking tie.
Nope.
But so I need Rick to pick some losers and shit. I really need you to fall back because I'm trying to walk away victorious here. All right, so real quick, because we still got the whole NBA side to do, and Lord, time just going fast, quick. All right, so this week, who's playing the damn Seahawks? Week 6. Damn, that's what I just pulled up. Yep, we got 49ers and Seahawks. All right, well, we both picked the Seahawks, so that's not really hard to come up. What? Everything is just running super slow right now. We got the Browns and Eagles. I mean, just my luck. This would be the game that we lose, but we both went Eagles on this pick. Next up, we got the Falcons and the Panthers. I'm pretty sure we both know where we're going with this pick. We both picked the Falcons.
Things are starting to shake out. It's easier to pick teams now.
Yeah. We got the Bears and the Jaguars up next. I went with the Bears. Rick went with the Jaguars. So this is where I start to make my ground up. I say this every week and it never fucking happens. All right, next up after that, boom. We got the I can't read right. Texans and the Patriots. I don't think no one's picking the fucking Patriots, but Drake May. We both went with Houston. Next up after that, we have the Ravens and the Commanders. Ooh. We both went Ravens.
Yeah.
Nope. Neither one of us got faith in it. Well, we already know you don't have faith in the Commanders, so we already know how that goes. All right. Next up after that, we got the Packers and the Cardinals. I think we both picked the same team on this one too as well. All right, we both went Packers on this one. No love for the Cardinals on this week. Next up, we got Tampa Bay and New Orleans, and we both went Bucks on this one. Yeah, no Derek Carr. I had no faith. Probably gonna go Taysom Hill or some shit. Who the fuck knows with that team? Colts and the Titans. The Titans have returned back to the NFL, and no one has faith in them. We're both picking the Colts. That is not a shocker at all. All right, next up we got the Chargers and the Broncos. You know what? That one was not an easy one for me. I'm not gonna lie. No. That was not an easy one for me. I had to think about that shit.
Yeah, this was a coin flip for me too.
But we both went Harbaugh. We both went with the Chargers. All right, next up we got Steelers and the Raiders. I don't really think that was too much of a toss up right there. We both went Steelers. Next up, it wasn't even a fucking second thought for me. Lions and the Cowboys. We both went with Detroit. Fuck the Cowgirls. All right. Next up after that, we got the Bengals and the Giants. This was another hard one. This was another hard one.
Which Giants team shows up?
Which Giant team shows up?
The one that plays the rest of the season.
All right, so we both went Cincinnati on this one. Next up, the Monday night game. We have the Bills and the Jets. I went with the Jets because they got a new coach, or old coach, a new coach, and Rick went with the Bills.
I made this pick before the firing, so we'll see.
Oh shit! Good point there. Good point. Damn good point. All right, that was our week 6 picks.
It's gonna come down to the Jets and Jaguars this week. Nice.
Yeah, hopefully next week when we pop back up here, I'll have
a 2-game series to make up. Yeah, I agree. You're gonna be 2 games behind.
Yeah, hopefully we pop back up. I'll have fucking I'll have a nice 20-game lead or some shit.
All right, what's next?
All right, next up it is. Oh wait a minute. We have our rankings. We got to do the rankings. We have to do. What was that? I heard a boop. I heard a boop. All right, we got the rankings. All right, so we're going to jump into boom. These. All right, let's go with Rick. These are Rick's top 5 teams heading into week 6. What you got up here, Rick?
Well, first and foremost, when I'm going to say this about my power rankings, I don't care what anybody says. I'm not saying this team's better than the next team in terms of they got better players, blah, blah, blah. I'll go through some of this big convoluted way to say, oh, well, the Packers are better than, 3 of the teams on here, or vice versa, or whatever the hell you might bring to my table. But at the end of the day, I pick by who's playing like a top 5 team right now. I don't give a shit. You can have all the best players in the world, but if you're sucking ass, you're sucking ass. Let's be honest. And right now, Washington Commanders are playing like the 5th best team in the NFL. They might be playing like the 4th or 3rd best team in the NFL. But my top 3 are hard to shake right now until those 3 teams show me that they're not willing to dominate the way that they are. If they start to play sloppy football, if they start to fall off in any way, if they take a big loss against a team that they should not have lost to, like they lose to an 0-5 team, yeah, it might drop them down the rankings a little bit right now. But the Chiefs, the Ravens, and the Lions are still playing like the top 3 teams in the NFL. The Vikings, I had them outside the top 5 last week, but barely outside the top 5, and they worked their way in. And right now, Washington I don't think is a top 5 team. I don't think they finish a top 5 team. But right now, they're playing like a top 5 team, and I got to give them the credit.
Huh. Okay. All right. I'm not even mad at this list. I'm really not mad at this list at all. So we got Washington at 5, Minnesota at 4, Detroit at 3, Baltimore at 2, and Kansas City at 1. All right. There's really no hate right there. Not bad at all. Not a bad list at all, bro. Can't lie. All right, let's see what my top 5 look like. You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute. Oh shit, that's the wrong damn one. That's the kind of day I'm having. I think that's the damn day I'm having. But you know what? It don't even matter because there's no way. Oh, wait a minute. No, I think that is the right one. Yeah. Washington at 5. No doubt about that. Houston at 4. Great win for them. Detroit at 3. It was hard to put Detroit over Kansas City because once again, you're undefeated team. You're still doing the things that to win. And then Minnesota at 1. Granted, I know you got Minnesota a little lower. Minnesota has beat quality. I think looking over their record, I think they have beat more quality teams than anybody on this list. I
do have to explain the Minnesota pick because we could say they beat quality teams, and that's not to say that they haven't, because if they beat last year's 49ers team, I think it would give them a little bit more credit than they beating this year's 49ers team. And again, that's pure gut feeling. Like right now, the 49ers are struggling, and that's one of the teams they beat this year. I'm not taking anything away from them. They're fucking 5-0. But for me, it's hard to knock off the Chiefs when the Chiefs are doing what they're doing with no freaking sign of slowing up. The Ravens, man, it's somebody stop them. The Lions are still one of the best offenses in the league. I should have had the Texans up there. That was another hard one. But right now, they struggled in their last game. They only won. What was that final score? They were won by, 3 points? So I think they knocked the Texans off. Just who's playing better at that time. Who's playing better week to week. These power rankings are based on, for me, how you're playing week to week, not how I feel you've played the entire season or will have played the entire season. I think Minnesota does move into the top 3. Where they fall by the end of the year, I don't know. But it's hard to knock off the teams that are ahead of them right now until those teams make mistakes.
All right, I agree. I mean, can't argue too much with your top 5. I mean, we got pretty much the same team, just in different positions. I don't have the Ravens up there, not yet. Those 2 early losses still kind of, it's still a slight little issue for me, considering what the Commanders have done, consider what Houston has done on a consistent basis. Of course, Detroit and the Chiefs and the Vikings. I just can't put the Ravens up there quite yet. But we'll see what happens. When they play the Commanders this week. Shit can change. So that's going to end the NFL portion of the show. Not sure. Taking another commercial break real quick and come back with the NBA side of things. We got like 50 minutes or something, 45 minutes left on the NBA side of things, so we can, jump right into the NBA when we come back.
You are watching Team NBS Media. We are a digital media brand covering sports, entertainment, and lifestyle, with team members all across the country. Through our written content, podcasts, and video content, we bring you fresh and professional content. Interested in joining the team? Shoot us an email or DM. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
I got no audio from Mark. Mark, are you muted?
I have no fucking idea, yo.
I'm saying y'all don't want me running this show.
I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know how the hell I was muted, yo. What the hell is that noise? What was that? I have no idea. Hey, NBA portion of the show here. We don't do NBA much over here at the Mad Podcast. Somehow Rick don't want to do it, but somehow, talk Rick into it. As you can see, we got a whole new layout over here now as we're going to talk some NBA.
Look at the Bulls up there. Bum ass team. Ooh, they're winning.
I'm just saying, I had to put them up there. I got, yeah, I'm saying, I don't know. You got to put them up there. I don't know what's going on with the Bulls this season. But now, we're going to talk about the Atlantic Division. That is the division that houses the Celtics, the Knicks, the Sixers, the Raptors, and the Nets. If we have any fans of those teams, please come in, enjoy yourself. Let's have some fun. Let's talk shit. Now, the first thing we want to talk about is the New Jersey Nets. I said the New Jersey Nets. I'm getting old. The Brooklyn Nets. Which direction are they leaning in this season? You know what? Let's go with Rick because we're going to test his knowledge. Which direction are the Nets leaning in this year?
I think that I think the Nets are. I don't want to say they're in rebuild mode just yet because they did make some trades, towards the end of the All-Star or not the All-Star break, the trade deadline. Bring some different players in, shake things up a little bit. So they're not completely in rebuild mode. They haven't. They're not at the point where they scattered all their pieces just yet. But at the end of the day, I think they need to do some retooling. This might be a sort of tryout season for them as well as one of the other. I think Toronto I had as a team that is looking to reestablish an identity, and I think the Nets are right there with them. I think that's their biggest goal this season. I don't think they're going to be one of those teams that dominates, that plays up to their capability just yet. I think they've got a lot of identity to find.
The Nets for me are a clusterfuck. Look, any team that still think that Ben Simmons is a valuable member of their team has psychological problems. Every offseason, we see videos of Ben Simmons in the gym shooting threes. Yet when it goes to the game, Ben Simmons doesn't shoot shit. And yet he comes back every offseason in the media like, hey, I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm ready to get back to being me. You've been saying this shit for 3 to 4 years now. And yet every season you're missing 60 to 70 games. So at what point are you getting back to you? We have yet to see that. You traded away Bridges to, I guess, I don't know if you can say a rival, in-city resident, the New York Knicks, which I don't know what the fuck you were thinking at that point. Now, I love Claxton in the middle and Cam Thomas. For some reason, no team has hit the Nets up about Thomas. I would love to have Thomas as a starting point guard. The man does nothing but get fucking buckets. That's it. That's it. He might not be the best facilitator in the NBA, but he gets buckets. So this year, look for Cam to put up all-star quality numbers because there's no one else to score the fucking ball. So their outlook for this year is lottery. They're going. It's not that they're trying to tank. They just don't have the talent to be competitive on a nightly fucking basis. So my direction for them is the fucking lottery. That's all I fucking got for them, yo. Because they're going to suck ass at the end of the fucking day, yo. Oh, Lord. Damn, where's Greg at? Damn, now I can use Greg right now. Greg, where you at? This is, I would love to know. What's the direction of the Toronto Raptors? What's your take on the Raptors entering this season?
Based on what I've seen a lot in the offseason, guys, just so you know, I am still getting new and back into the NBA. So I am doing everything on the fly basis. I don't have stats. I don't have nothing to go on like I usually do, but I have read up on the Raptors, and it feels like they've got a very young team. This is going to be a team that is kind of finding out who's going to be the depth, who's going to be here when they do decide to bring in the big names later on down the road. I think this is another one of those teams that's going to have a tryout year.
Uh-oh. The Raptors. Now, let me see. Let's call them the Toronto Nictors. You got Emmanuel quickly coming back. You got, RJ Barrett, which we all know came over in a trade from the Knicks last season. Of course, we loved him too. If Greg was in the room, he'd tell you, he loved, RJ Barrett, the Canadian-born player. So, Greg is he's a Barrett fan. Scotty Barnes. Hey, I like Scotty Barnes' game. And they were not bad last season. It still took them time to gel after the big trade. But to me, I think they're still a little bit guard heavy. I don't think they're big enough yet to contend with at least the three other big major teams in the Atlantic Division. I'm not saying they're shooting for the lottery because they're going to win way more games than fucking Brooklyn. But they are a little bit too perimeter based to deal with some of the other teams in the Atlantic Division. Quickly is, look, he's instant offense, but however, quickly can also shoot you out the game. Barrett, his three is developing. He's not quite where it should be at, but it's developing. Scotty Barnes, I'm like, what can't Scotty Barnes do? Score, facilitate, rebound, defend. Like, Scotty gets it done. Big Jake in the middle, he's a fucking rebounding machine. They should have made a little bit more moves. Like, you're relying on Grady. I can't say this shit with a straight face. You're relying on Grady Dick. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't say it with a straight face, yo. But once again, where you're hurting at more or less is your second unit. You got Kelly Olynyk down there. Like, you don't have a great second unit. You're going to win. For me, I give them about 35 wins. They're going to etch out some wins. All teams etch out some wins. Playoffs, no. Two perimeter based, and also you got to deal with them with the injuries. Scotty Barnes, he gets his nicks and bruises. He's going to hit. He's going to miss a few games. Same thing with Barrett. Barrett misses games every year, so you got to hope that they got enough on the bench to help out when those guys are out, because they are going to miss games. It always fucking happens. But once again, still perimeter-based team. If those threes are not falling, then Toronto, they might not reach that 35-win mark. They can play some defense, though. Don't get it twisted. But that is not a team that I am going to bank on to make the playoffs this year. They're too small, plain and simple. Well, too small for me. It's just not going to work out this year for them. I didn't know. I wondered about this one right here. Did Boston make a mistake running it back? That's a crazy question. Rick, what do you think?
I don't. Here's the hard part about when a team decides to run it back. One, if you're a team that didn't live up to its potential and you had a bunch of injuries and you all of a sudden feel you're healthy and you were running away with the league before your injuries and then the injuries set you back, and then you want to run it back because the injuries derailed your season, okay, I can understand that. Two, you want to run it back because it feels like the rest of the division or the rest of the league hasn't caught up to your success, which might be what Boston was thinking. But at the end of the day, I mean, the majority, what did they lose? I think I looked up the key, signings and departures, and what they lose, one guy. And when you win 78% of your games, that one guy is not going to be the difference maker. So do I think it was a bad idea to run it back? No, but I think as a professional sports team, you always got to look for ways to make your team better no matter what.
I pose this question because normally after a team wins a championship, someone leaves. Someone or some people leaves. This has one of them rare off seasons where they kept the same core. Once again, you can't take away a ring from a team. I don't give a fuck what happened. You can't take away them winning a championship. However, we all know, we watch the playoffs. the East was not as strong as it should have been because of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this team only goes as far as Tatum and Brown takes them. Yes, they're both coming to the season with chips on their shoulders over the bullshit that happened with the Olympic team. Brown thought he was snubbed, and Tatum got no burn. Like, so they both are pissed. However, they are champions. You still got Big Horford coming back. I think Horford is like 37 years old. Porzingis is not going to start the year because he is still injured. This is where I think they should have made a move because of Horford's age. Yes, he played great last year, but we all know that one minute you wake up and Father Time is on your ass.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what Horford we're going to get. We could get the 76ers version of our Horford. We don't know which version we're going to get. And we don't know how healthy Porzingis is going to be when he comes back. You still got Drew Holiday. You still got, Xavier Tillman. You still got Pritchard. Their second unit, it's still iffy. Now, you still got Derek White, who won a gold medal with Tatum. And once again, how the fuck did Derek White make the fucking Olympics and Jaylen Brown did? But that's a whole nother shit right there. But I still think they should have made at least one or two adjustments, especially to their second unit or even a third. They should have. What the heck happened there?
I got a notification. It pulled up the fucking the live for me, and now I'm getting echoes of you. But I shut it down.
Oh shit! Yeah, they should have made a move for another big man. Horford at his age, and then Porzingis, with his injury history. I still think they should have made another run for another big man. Everything else they solid at. That's the only thing I think they fucked up. But then the other part is, I think they sold the team, and before they sold the team, the fucking owner just gave these ridiculous contracts out. I mean, he signed everybody to these astronomical fucking numbers. Boston will make a move at the trade deadline. Granted, because Horford would be retired somewhere in Florida with the Canes. And that's a good point, Joe. They will have to make a fucking move at the trade deadline. As a Boston hater, I'm hoping they crumble, but honestly, that core five is just too fucking good for them to crumble. The only reason they will crumble is due to injuries or their second unit not able to produce like they did last season. That's the only drawback, is that everybody has to produce like they did last season, and I don't think that's going to happen. But I could be fucking wrong. The big off-season shit right here.
Oh, where am I? All right.
That's Cat, which is Karl Anthony Towns, improved the Knicks. Rick, what do you think?
That for me, that's a call, because I looked into it a little bit this year, and I think we talked about it. You and I have had the brief conversations that the whole reason that the Knicks have struggled was due to injuries, and they could have been a lot better than they were last year. And I think that's where I feel like this move is a unilateral move. It feels like there's not really many categories he makes them that much better in, and with a few injury concerns himself, I think it feels like they broke even with this one.
Fuck. There's so much I want to say about this damn shit. Does Cat improve the Knicks? Let's keep it a buck. No. We're Kev, if you're listening, I'm not with this shit. I'm sorry, I'm just not. And the reason I'm not with it is because simply, let's say Cat and Randall max each other out. It's like saying you got Jordan on one team, you got Kobe on another team. It's going to come down to the other four players because them two, they're going to cancel each other out. Plain and fucking simple. Cat and fucking Randall, they're not the same player, but they're pretty much the same player. So that cancels them out. Right. But you gave away Dante. That was your fucking problem right there. That's what fucked this trade up. I could have dealt with the Randall and Cat swap. I'd have been cool with that. But when you trade away Dante, that's what made the trade so lopsided for me, because you traded away a 15 point per game scorer. So now you didn't give away Randall and his rebounding, and you also gave away 15 points and I think like 4 assists and like another 4 rebounds. So you gave away a whole fucking starter quality player, or a bench player, for nothing, for fucking nothing. Granted, you signed Miles Bridges, so you're like, okay, well now we got room. Actually, no, the fuck you don't, because your second unit is what fucked you in the playoffs. You didn't have a strong second unit. Josh Hart had to play starter minutes. Dante was fucking starting, but now you're like, okay, now OG is healthy. Now we can slide him, and we can slide Bridges into the starting spot. So the whole time I'm hearing this during the offseason, I'm thinking like, oh shit, Josh Hart back to the bench, Dante back to the bench, McBride. Oh my God, they about to be a fucking problem. And then you went in and traded this motherfucker for Cat. Cat, I still don't believe, even though he's from Jersey, I don't think Cat has the mental fortitude to play in Madison Square Garden 41 games out of the fucking year. Granted, they went to the Western Conference Finals in Minnesota. Minnesota and New York, 2 different fucking things. You may have expectations in Minnesota, but not like you have in New York. This media will eat you the fuck alive. I don't think he improved the Knicks at all. He can shoot, yeah, but so could Randall. He can rebound, yeah, but so could Randall. Both were slightly good defenders when they wanted to be, but yeah, I'm saying, yeah, there was no improvement. You didn't improve because you traded away Dante. That's what fucked this whole trade up for me. So no, the Knicks did not improve. Kev probably think the Knicks improved. That's cool. I'm not feeling that, Kev. I'm just not. And once again, if the swap was Cat for Randall, kudos, good swap, but it wasn't. And then you gave away a fucking Detroit first round pick. This is Detroit we're talking about. They not gonna win no more than 50 games in the next 4 fucking seasons. So yeah, that was just, God, Knicks are going to pay for this shit, yo. I'm sorry. I'm just not on board with it. Now to my squad. You know what I'm saying? Rick, is this a do or die season for Joel Embiid?
That's a toss up. At the end of the day, it feels like if they're close this year, if they can get to a deep playoff run, then absolutely not. But the guy's 30 years old, man, and you're on the backside of your career at that point. When it comes down to his career, is he still going to be the guy that makes that significant difference? Is he going to be relegated to like a Shaq where you're a bench player trying to make up for, the inconsistencies of a starter? I mean, once you hit the backside of your career and you're not doing it as well as you did when you first started, dude has not lost a step, I don't think, from what I've seen and what I've watched at least. But I think that's where the hardest part is what will his role be if they don't get it done this year? So do or die in terms of what? Do and die in terms of a career? No. Do or die in terms of being that guy? Probably.
For Embiid, it always comes down to playoffs. Every year he's been injured during the playoffs. Now I give it to him; he guts it out. But we have not had a healthy Embiid in the playoffs in the last 2 to 3 seasons. As far as what he means, like, dude still, I think last year, what did he drop? 34, 35 points per game. He's arguably the best center in the fucking, in the NBA. He just won MVP, not this season, but the last season prior. He was in line to win it again, but once he didn't play the minimum amount of games. But is he that dude? We all know he's that fucking dude. Mm-hmm. In any center that's averaging 34, 35 points, like, no center is doing that. Like, Embiid is that fucking dude. The issue is he has to do it in the playoffs. He's always been injured. It's been a knee here. It's always been fucking something where he's not totally 100%. What I mean by like a do or die season for him is that now he got Paul George and Tyrese Maxey. You got the coach. Like, yo, he has to win this year, because if you don't, that's going to follow him. It's just going to keep growing. Right now, some of the fan base is like, yo, maybe we should trade Embiid. We sitting here like, yo, why the fuck would you want to trade a 35-point? Like, who the fuck trades that? That's like Jordan going out scoring 35. Somebody like, yo, trade Jordan. Like, who? Like, are you fucking out of your fucking mind? Now, you can get a big haul for him, but with Maxey playing the way that he's playing, and now you're bringing in Paul George, of course, I know Philly fans. We just don't think logically. Say like, yeah. Trade the former MVP who just won MVP a year ago. Yeah, trade that motherfucker. No. If he comes into this fucking playoff joint healthy, I think they can win it all just because he's fucking healthy. We have not had a healthy Embiid. For me, it is a do or die season for him because, past 4 or 5 years, we have not made it out of the second round. You have to make it out of the fucking second round. If you can't do that, and as the face of the franchise, as an MVP type quality player, it's going to fall on you. We've seen this shit with like Aaron Rodgers right now. Like, you won an MVP, you did all of this, but can you win the big one? So, yes, it is a do or die season for Embiid. I'm not saying if he doesn't get it, the Sixers are going to send his ass to Antarctica somewhere. But however, but the contest has always been between him and Jokic in Denver. Jokic has the fucking ring. Like, Jokic already has his fucking ring. Embiid, if you want to be up there with Jokic like that, you have to win a fucking ring. This is a major season for Embiid moving fucking forward.
Yeah, I think that you kind of probably just spoke a little bit more elegantly towards that point. For me, I don't think that it's a make or break season for him in terms of the career that he's having. I think their ability to lean on him and for him to be the major role player might shrink a little bit if this is the season he doesn't get it done. Again, mainly because of, age, injuries, reliability. You might start to see his role shrink in terms of being the face of the franchise, maybe, so to speak.
Yeah, it'll be hard to remove him from that, just because once again that him and Jokic, you don't see talent like that out of 7-footers and shit.
Right.
But his time is dwindling. Injuries are going to rob him of pretty much of, I hate to say it, of his career within the next 2 to 3 seasons. So right now the Sixers, they put a good team around him. So he does have to fucking win.
Well, I mean, and that's just it, kind of like, running backs in the NFL who have taken a beating left and right. They don't go deep in their careers. Big men in the NBA that have that big frame, they don't go, they don't play into their 40s like Jordan did. You put that much pressure and that much strain on a body over the years, you're probably, 33, 30, 34 years old, cutting it back or becoming a bench player or calling it a career.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so what we got right here? This was one of Rick's questions right here. All right, who didn't do enough this all season in your eyes, Rick, in Atlantic Division?
We already said the Nets, man. They had that almost sort of fire sale last year. They still brought some players in, but at this point, that team has been chasing the rest of the division for I don't know how long. They had maybe 1 or 2 good seasons a few years back, and they just how is the organization seems so dysfunctional for this long? I don't think they've done enough to warrant, keeping up with the rest of the division. You mean to tell me that the Nets are going to catch the Knicks or the Celtics anytime soon? Where I'm at with them is, did they do anything to build the franchise for a few years out? They might have made some moves that made them better this year, but they're not building anything above and beyond their baseline.
That's a damn good point right there. And that's pretty much where I was at too. Who didn't do enough this all season was Brooklyn. For one, you still got Ben Simmons on your roster. I'm not saying that Simmons is wrong. Maybe this is the year he comes back healthy and becomes the player that he was when he was the Sixers before the Atlanta bullshit. Maybe, but we don't know. Y'all traded away so much talent that you're banking on Claxton, really. Trying to think of anybody else. Cam Johnson, maybe, and you got Cam Thomas. You're just banking on what ifs. You did not go out and you really didn't go out and do anything that's going to say we're trying to fucking win this year. Maybe you're not trying to win this year. Maybe you're not. Thomas is good, but he's not a true point guard. He's not a facilitator. You once had Dinwiddie down there. Just let him go. You let Miles Bridges go. Like, you just did not do enough of this. You think, like, maybe y'all are in tank mode. Before the season even fucking start, you're just already in fucking tank mode. And we talk about the offseason. I mean, not the offseason, but the trade deadline. I really believe that, Bogdanovic, I'll always fuck his name up. He's going to be gone. I really think that they're going to try their best to get rid of Simmons by the trade deadline. I think Simmons is going to be gone. Like, they're going to break that team down and acquire draft picks that they lost years ago. That team is going nowhere. They didn't do enough this offseason because they didn't do shit this offseason. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that organization. They was once at the top of the league, so much potential with Harden and fucking Durant and fucking Kyrie Irving, so much potential. And then it just went downhill from there. They just
fire sale.
Yeah, they just said fuck it. And it could be an organization. Like, no one probably wants to play for them, that organization no more. But they didn't do enough this all season because they didn't do shit this all season. No major fucking improvements. Y'all just didn't give a fuck. Y'all just throwing the fucking G League team out, out on the floor and just saying, let's go do whatever. And that's up to your front office. Like, y'all fucked up on the court and they fucked up in the office together. Y'all just a fucked up organization. I don't give a fuck. So we just did who didn't do enough. So in your eyes, Rick, who had the best offseason in the Atlantic Division?
I'm gonna take the easy way out. I'm gonna say the Celtics. It's hard to pick against the team and having the bad a quote unquote bad offseason. When you win almost 80% of your games last year, you walk into the NBA Finals, you win a championship, and you bring back the core of that team. That's a recipe for success. It's so many teams so many players win a championship and they're like, all right, where am I gonna get paid next? What am I gonna do next? I made my moves. Cool. How do I get to that next level? And they're always looking for a new team. It happens in every sport. They want to go get paid. They don't have the loyalty to the team. They just won a championship with them unless that team throws a lot of money at them. So they were still able to bring back the core of that team. They were still able to keep a championship team together, and that's a huge move in the offseason despite it being the easiest move of the offseason.
Julio said Ben Simmons is a scam artist. Julio, he damn sure is. I can't even fucking lie. Look, fuck it. I'll be the homer. Of course I'm going to be the homer. The Sixers had the best fucking all season. I wanted to say the Knicks. I wanted to say them until they did that fucking Carl Anthony Towns bullshit. I really was going to give it to them. Ben Simmons revenge tour. Man, you know what, Joe? You fucking bugging. Ben Simmons revenge tour my ass. Get your tickets. Yeah, actually, I could get my tickets. I'm motherfucking like $3 so I might get some Brooklyn Nets cheap ass damn tickets.
That's the whole season.
Season package, $3. But for me, the team that did the best this all season was the Sixers. Once again, I love what Boston did, except for not getting another big man. But you signed you kept your core that won a fucking championship. Like, you cannot ever argue with that. Like, we didn't lose shit. Like, we kept our core. Like, that's dope. But part of your core is getting older. New York, I had them at the top of the list. I really, really did until this Karl Anthony Towns bullshit. That like totally just threw me the fuck off. I gotta say my Sixers simply because we added Paul George to pair with two other All-Stars. We brought back Andre Drummond brought back Andre Drummond to back up Joel Embiid. We re-signed Kyle Lowry. We brought in Caleb fucking Martin. We signed Eric fucking Gordon. We got Reggie fucking Jackson. Like, anybody gonna sit here and tell me that, Daryl Morey was not fucking playing chess this fucking offseason? Like, he revamped that whole fucking team. Oh, my bad. They re-signed Kelly Oubre. Like, yo, we talking about starting lineup with Joel Embiid, Caleb Martin, Paul George, Oubre, and Maxey. And I know I'm not even going to pronounce his name or even try to, but the kid from the Olympics that played for the French team, yeah, y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm not even going to fuck his name up. But yet, that's another power forward right there. That's going to, for the second unit. Then the draft, McCain, I think from Duke. Like, yo, even though he paints his fingernails and shit, I really don't know what the fuck that's about. These young motherfuckers. But when it comes to that, I mean, I got to look at everything that Daryl Morey did this year. The big fucking move that got Paul George. That was an ultimate power play move right there. But
and I don't, you know what? I don't think that is discussed enough as being as big of a move as it is, because they didn't have to go out and trade for him. They lured him in, and he signed with the team without having to give him that much up for him. He wanted to come there, and obviously money talks and all that. So you're going to bring guys in that, you're always going to have that money to throw around. But bringing in a piece like that naturally is way more impressive than going out and making moves and, trading away and giving up collateral to get him.
I agree. Like I said, no big movement as far as draft pick goes. And they had draft picks. Oh shit. The most important piece of this offseason. Let me make sure I get this correct. Morey did some slick shit. He re-signed KJ Martin. I think it was like a 2-year, $14 million deal or some shit. KJ Martin is getting no burn. He's getting no burn. But he signed it. He signed him to that contract, which is going to pay dividends at the trade deadline, because his contract, even though it's going to match, it's going to be the money that's going to match for another impact player. Murray's a fucking genius. You signed a bullshit player to a deal that's going to match certain money so you can get another impact player at the fucking trade deadline. Like, oh, you need the money to match? Take this motherfucker right here. We just signed him to a fucking 2-year deal. Just take the money to a fucking match. Fucking genius fucking move. So, yes, not because I'm a homer, but they did have the best offseason because they addressed every need that they fucking needed to address. You got a third star, you got a fucking bench, you got a backup center, and you got some shooters, and fucking, Eric Gordon, and fucking Caleb Martin, and fucking Paul George, and Reggie fucking Jackson, and Kyle Lowry, and McCain. Like, you got everything that you needed to get. Now the only issue is, can y'all stay healthy enough to make this run in the postseason? Yes, that is my squad. So yes, I'm going to big them the fuck up. But out of every team in the fucking Atlantic Division, the Sixers had the best fucking offseason to me. And if you don't think so, yeah. All right. So this is where I try to test Rick's knowledge real quick, right? Sounds like, Rick, I need you to give me your 5 best teams. Well, not 5 best teams, because only 5 fucking teams. But I need you to rank the teams in the Atlantic Division. And this is what Rick came up with. I mean, look, that's his rankings. He sees it how he sees it. We're not going to sit here and argue with Rick. So, Rick, run down your... Oh, shit, that shit is all over the screen, but they can see it. I got to fix that one. Rick, tell them what you got.
The Boston Celtics are going to stay at number 1 until, the season starts. We get a little bit underway, because a team that wins the championship, for me, especially like I said earlier, that run it back, they're going to be at the top until someone knocks them off. The Knicks we've talked about plenty of times. the Knicks probably had the best season that they've had in a long while, and very easily could have, in my mind, won a championship last year had they stayed healthy. But so they're going to be my top two. The Sixers, they'll probably be a little bit higher again later in the year. You know, I did love the Paul George move. I think that's going to pay out tremendously for them. I think the top three will probably shuffle the most out of this list. How it plays out midseason, it's again, like you said, it's going to come down to health of all these players the entire season long after 82 games. And then the Nets and the Raptors for me was a coin toss because I don't think either of them did a lot this offseason. So right now, I think Brooklyn, from what you said, I'm scratching my head saying, man, they might be the worst in this division. So I might have got that one wrong, but that's where I'm at right now. So we'll see how the season shakes out.
All right, look, I agree. Of course, the 4 and 5, it's a little iffy. So I probably would have to put Brooklyn, at 5. I'm not even gonna argue with you as far as the top 3. Once again, you see things how you see things. There's no issue with that. What I'm mad about is that when I made the list, I did it with the NFL layout. So everything mapped out correctly. I didn't do it with the NBA layout, so that's why it's fucking cut off. So I know now that's something that I gotta tweak that shit for next week. I didn't. Yeah, I mapped it with the NFL layout, not the fucking NBA layout. Yeah, I was bugging the fuck out this week. But I'm not mad at I'm not mad at your rankings and shit. You get new to the NBA side of things. My rankings is probably gonna be the same thing. Yep, all to the side. I got Brooklyn at 5 because I just think they're gonna suck hot ass. Toronto at 4 because they're gonna be better than fucking Brooklyn. I'm saying there's really not too much saying. I got the Knicks at 3. That Karl Anthony Towns trade really fucked me up because honestly, I would have put the motherfuckers at 1. That Anthony Towns trade really just fucking blew me. I got the Sixers at 2. Even the great offseason does not mean that they are better than the fucking Celtics because you're talking about a team that just won the fucking championship and they're running it back with their same fucking core. Once again, injuries. But if they're healthy, 7-game series, even as a Sixers fan, that Boston team is tough. But going into the season, I think Boston is the best team in the Atlantic Division. They are ahead of my Sixers, no doubt about that. So I'm not that much of a fucking homer. All right. So Rick, for some reason, I don't know why, decided that his ass did not want to do a top 5 players in the Atlantic Division. Somehow he just said, I don't want to do this shit. I don't know what the fuck Rick was thinking. What Julio said was looking forward to see the Nova Knicks, but they changed the whole. Julio, you and me both, brother. You and me both. I don't know what. Fuck the Knicks, yo. Fuck Leon Rose. Fuck James Dolan. Fuck those fuckers, yo. Like that team. I'm not even a Knicks fan like that, and that pissed me off. So I can imagine how Knicks fans feel. Well, they don't feel shit. They just excited. They just busting the nut over every fucking thing. Anyway, Rick said he did not want to rank the top 5. Rick, please explain to everybody why you did not want to do a player ranking.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you guys flat out. I did not want to dishonor any of these guys in this division by not knowing their career so far. I'm getting back into the NBA, but I'm not gonna be like, well, this guy's number 1 because he's the guy I've heard of the most. And like, it's not how I roll. So I want to be able to get back into the NBA and say, hey, this is one of the things that I'm going to have to do my research on. I don't want to insult the fans. I don't want to insult the players. I don't want to insult the people that listen to us by just randomly throwing a dart out there and saying that person's better than the next guy.
All right. As Joe just said, he can respect Rick's decision on not doing that. You know what? I've known Rick for a long time, so I'm going to be the one who says this. I ain't trying to hear that shit. So this is what Rick could have did for me. I was going to give him the advice, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see what Rick does. Now we only got 5 teams in the division, right? 5 fucking teams. We got the Nets, the Knicks, the fucking Sixers, Brooklyn. I already said that, but you know the 5 that we got.
Mm-hmm.
Go through their stats. You can go through last season. Just pull up their, each team stats from last season. You will see a player like Tatum. Like, oh shit, Tatum dropped 24 points per game with like 10 rebounds. Out of those 5 teams, he's dropping 24 points and 10 rebounds. So you got to say, God damn it, he's one of the top 5 players in that division. So then you go to the Nets. Okay, they got nobody. Real shit. So we can just skip those motherfuckers. You can go to Toronto and say, hey, Scotty Barnes, I think he was dropping like 18, 6, and 7. Like, damn. Out of 5 teams, he got to be somewhere between the top 5 or the top 7. Once again, go to the Knicks. You'll start to see where I'm going with this.
Right.
Brunson averaging like 20, 24, 25 points a game. And so, OG, or now you got Cat, who averaged, I think, 21 while he was with Minnesota. But, you translate that now to the division. Now you got Paul George, who, is a good player. So you take his numbers, like, oh, shit, I know Paul George got to be one of the top 5 players in the division. Let me look at his stats. And you got Embiid, who averaged like, 35 points per game last year. So, he's at the top. So I was like, I ain't going to bother Rick. But I do respect your, hey, look, I respect it.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, when we come back from getting back into the NBA, you got to, I kind of look at it as someone that loves to use stats, I think it's a little bit harder to rank players individually without knowing their role on the team. And I always use the old school. If you look statistically at Dennis Rodman for the Chicago Bulls when they went on their run late in their Jordan's career, he was probably one of the top players in the NBA at the time, just because of the role he played. Any missed shot he had. So he wasn't putting up crazy points, but his role was to get the board and nothing more. Like, so his role was just rebound, and he was one of the best at that role. So he played his role to perfection, even though the stat sheet wasn't lit up. Other than obviously rebounds.
True indeed. But that's another way to look at it. Like, for us, how we look at things, you can say, hey, to me, rebounding is very important. That is a very important part of a team's success. I might put Rodman up there as one of the top players just because of what he's by far, to me, one of the top 3 defensive players that's ever played the game.
Right.
But, everybody looks at scoring and shit. I'll look at the other shit. So, yeah, that's what I meant by that. So with that said, I'm the only one who did the list because Rick sucks ass. But you know what? But once again, as long as I know
Rick, mid-season, I'm gonna have this down.
Yeah, Rick has never been really, like he's coming back into the NBA. He's a Bulls fan, so y'all gotta cut him some slack and shit. I didn't know they still have fans after Michael Jordan retired. I didn't know they still had a basketball team, to tell you the truth. But so these are my top 5 players within the Atlantic Division. Once again, that shit is cut off, yo. I really got to fix this shit for next week. All right, number 5. Y'all can't even see it. I'm so pissed at myself right now because I worked hard on that shit. All right, number 5, I got Tyrese Maxey of the Sixers. Breakout season. I only have his numbers in front of me, but I know he was in a 23 to 25 point range scoring last season. I think with about 7 or 8 assists per game. Maxey is a fucking monster. I got Jaylen Brown up there. Despite what Team USA thinks, Brown is a fucking beast. He just, he's coming off a fucking NBA championship. One of the best 2-way players that we have, in the NBA. He's a little inconsistent at times, but I would love to have Brown on my fucking team. Brown is a monster. Number 3, Jalen Brunson. Like, come on, dog. We all seen what Brunson did in the fucking regular season and in the playoffs. Even playing hurt. He's a fucking team leader. He is the leader of the Knicks now. I don't have his numbers in front of me, but Brunson averaged about 24, 25, 26 per game last season, with about 6 or 7 assists. Brunson is a fucking monster. Number 2, I got Tatum. I don't give a fuck what Steve Kerr. I don't know what Steve Kerr was smoking. Like, there's no way I could look at a player who just came off Embiid over Tatum. I'm dead, sir. That's all right. Don't be hating. Now, there's no way I'm Steve Kerr. I could look at Tatum at the end of my bench on the fucking USA Championship and think that, hey, this motherfucker, he's not getting any minutes. Tatum is a fucking beast, yo. He can kill you from so many different spots on the floor, and he plays a little defense, and he's a great fucking rebounder. And I think my man averaged about 4 to 5 assists per game. Tatum is a beast. Now, as Joe just said in the chat, so I'm taking Embiid over Tatum. You damn right I'm taking Embiid over Tatum. This is a 7-footer averaging 35 points per fucking game and over 10 fucking rebounds, and I think 4 to 5 assists. You damn right I'm taking Embiid over him because Embiid plays both ends of the fucking floor. That's why I'm taking Embiid. So, is Tatum up there scoring wise with Embiid? No. Is he up there rebounding wise with Embiid? At times. Assist wise, running neck and neck. Of course, Tatum is a better 3-point shooter. But statistic wise, you damn right I'm taking fucking Embiid. Who the fuck is not taking fucking Embiid? That's like someone saying, you know what, I'm taking Tatum over Joker. No one's saying that. Like, yes, not because I'm a Sixers fan. It's because we all know what Embiid does. Give me a player who plays both ends of the floor for 40 fucking minutes. Please show. That's not saying that Tatum doesn't do it, but he doesn't do it to a level that fucking Embiid does it. Same reason I got Brown up there. I could put Paul George over fucking Jaylen Brown. But I love the way that fucking Jaylen Brown attacks the fucking rim. I love what he does for his fucking team. That's why I don't have Paul George over there when Paul George he's part of the division now. But Embiid, come on, man. That's a 7-footer averaging damn 35 and fucking 11 or 12 a game with another 5 assists. Like, he's doing every damn thing. So, yeah, I'm picking Embiid over Tatum all day long. It's not a big gap. They're right there, but if I had to pick, I'm picking Embiid all day. You're not gonna find I can find a player who does what Tatum does. I can't find a 7-footer who does what Embiid does. Plain and simple. Fucking Tatum grows on a tree. Every fucking 3 years, we got a Tatum player in the fucking league. Every fucking year, 3 years, we got a fucking Tatum clone in the league. We don't have Embiid and Joker clones. Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my top 5 players in the Atlantic Division. As always, we seem to run over time every fucking week, son. Every fucking week we run over time. So, and we started a little bit later than normally. We're done by 8:00. So we started, later this week at 7:15, which probably will be the normal time moving forward because it gives everybody, we see that a lot of the viewers come on after 7:00. So by the time y'all normally come on, it's time for us to get off the air and shit. So we try to push it back an hour this time. But once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in for another episode of the Mavs podcast. I don't know next week. It's my birthday week coming up, so I probably won't be on the air next week. I'll probably be somewhere with your mama. It's like, no, I'm bugging. But no, want to thank y'all for another great episode. It was good to get Rick back into the NBA side of things. Anything you want to say, Rick?
Oh, no, just dipping my toe back into this water. I'm kind of excited. Maybe my team will do something this year. Maybe they won't, but maybe I'll find a different team to keep an eye on.
They won't. Long as it's not the Lakers or the Celtics or who Greg like, Toronto. Nobody that Greg like whatever team Greg like, go the opposite fucking direction. If we had a team in fucking Winnipeg, pick Winnipeg. Hockey is back. Let me see. My Phillies just got the ass whipped 7-2. So now we're down 2-1. If we lose the next one, we're out of the fucking playoffs. NBA season. I'm sorry, NBA preseason is not alive. Hockey's in full effect. Season just started, I guess, the other day, but really started tonight. Actually tonight. I don't know what's going on with Rick phone and shit. Shit's like a microwave or some shit. Rick hot pockets are done. But no, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Want to give a big shout out to Joe for running the board behind the scenes today, being a producer tonight. So Joe, thank you for the hand, brother.
Yes, thank you.
Please come back. So because I'm tired of hitting buttons and shit. And don't worry, y'all. I'm sorry. Next week or whenever we come back, I will have the screen fixed. The overlay. I need to
some of these glitches.
Yeah, I need to move this shit a little bit smaller. But we're trying, different shit just to improve the show. But we want to thank y'all for tuning in. We see y'all in another week or two. With that said, man, you have a good night. Peace.
Later.